Good morning, everybody. I got some coffee when I went to Costco last time. And so what I typically do is I take a great big, like my biggest kitchen spoon, like for serving, like say this one. And I scoop it in, I transfer, and I scoop it and I transfer, and I drop. No matter how hard I try, I do drop some on the counter. Well, today it occurred to me that I could grab the scissors and just cut a little hole out. And this is going to change things. Watch this. No spills. I thought it was genius. Hey, if you're new here, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going 2 towns over. We're going to a town called Belfair, another county called Mason, and we're going to see what we can get into over there, mostly because I need to get into their Safeway. And I hope it's still there, their Safeway. I haven't been in a year. They have different things in our Safeway. Like they have really good seasonal things, and they have anyway, they're better, I think. So if you are not new here, welcome back, friends, and we'll see what we can get into today. Hey, let's make some dinner. So you should know, look at my mess. It's still raining every day and cool. The temperature is 58 degrees right now. It's just windy here and there, thunder here and there, lots of pouring rain, lots of showers between the pouring rain. So it's the kind of day that I think I want to make chili. I hardly ever do this, and I don't know why, because it's so good. I wonder if I can get this light to come on and stay on. Hold on a minute. That's better. We got some light in here now. Okay, and this I have my phone in here because it amplifies the sound when I listen to music while I work in the kitchen. I'm making white chicken chili, and it's wonderful. I should make it more often. So I took this out of the freezer. It's already cooked. It's spicy cooked chicken breast and I wrote enchiladas or chili, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Instead of taking it out and shredding it with a fork, I just squeezed it while it was still in the bag and broke up the chunks that it was. This is all chicken breast, by the way. And it's shredded enough. If it needs more, I can get 2 forks into the crock pot. Into the crock pot, I have a large jar of chicken broth. So next, I'm going to put the chicken in and add the other ingredients. I have chili bean pinto beans, so they're, flavored with stuff. I have some diced green chilies. I have some diced tomatoes. I have some Fiesta style corn. And what makes this Fiesta style? It's got vacuum packed whole kernels with red and green bell peppers. Is that really all that makes it Fiesta? Okay. And I wanted to use it up, 12/24, Well, that's next year, isn't it? I didn't have to, but I'm going to use it up. Oh, and I already started opening this and realized I hadn't shown it. I'm putting in northern beans and the pinto beans together. I'm going to throw in a packet of ranch and a whole entire block of cream cheese. I think that's all I'm putting in it, but I'm not positive. Flying by the seat of my pants again. We'll see how this works out for me. My husband is at a dental appointment, his yearly cleaning, or 6-month cleaning, or whatever that is. And so he's going to the grocery store after, and I asked him to bring home sour cream and tortilla chips and avocado so that we can top it. It sounds so good on a cold day. I just remembered this chicken is what was left over when I made a giant amount, because I do that, of Mississippi chicken, where you use the peppers and all of that. So this has already got the flavor of ranch and the pepperoncini peppers. So I will only use a half a packet of this ranch in here. So there we have that. And I shredded it up just a little bit. I wanted a lot of chicken in every bowl. And so any big pieces, I tried to take down a notch. Yes, I did. Okay, so for our broth, shredded chicken, a whole block of cream cheese cut, into little squares, and about a half of this. I've not tried this brand before. I hope it's good. Great Value Classic Ranch. Instead of getting expensive stuff, I went for this. Cutting corners because we all have to. I'm going to set these first 3 ingredients. Is it 3? Chicken broth. No, it's 4 ingredients. Chicken broth, cream cheese, and ranch. I'm going to put this on the slow cooker now. It's in a large container. And let it get hot. And melt this cream cheese before I add the other ingredients. I started it up, and it's started for 1 hour. It's not going to go 1 hour. I'm going to keep checking it every 5 minutes or so, giving it a stir to get that cream cheese nice and melted. And while that's going on, I'm going to chop my onion. I'll use half of it in the chili and half of it in a bowl for people to top with. All right, this is the bowl that I'm going to add. Come with me over here to the rest of the ingredients here, to the actual chili while it's cooking. And then I just kept some back, and I'll put this in the fridge and get it out with the tortilla chips and the avocado and all of that for topping the chili if they want it. I made a change on that corn I'm going to use. It said 12/24, so it's good for more than a year. But this one is only good till December. So I like it better because it just has red bell peppers instead of green too. It's got poblano, which is going to add to the heat, which everybody here is an adult and it's okay. That'll be delicious. Into a bowl, I put green chilies. Didn't have to roast them because there's not much liquid in there. I did drain and rinse the Great Northern beans. I drained the chili beans, and I know that's where flavor is, but it changes the color of the white chili if you put a lot of red juice into it, and I wanted it to look more white than red, so I did rinse and drain. And then I just drained this and put it all into this bowl. I'm going to add it with these. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put these in right now. And I haven't drained this yet. Chili is our chili. The chicken and broth and that stuff is mostly melted of the cream cheese. There's little tiny bits, but I think that'll mix in as it cooks. So I'm going to put in that bunch of onions now, because we like onions here. Stir those in, give it maybe another 5-10 minutes, and add all of this stuff in the bowl, the beans and the diced chilies and whatnot. And then let that go. What'd I do with that lid? There it is. I moved you over because I could not get a good picture inside of this in that corner next to the refrigerator. All right, talking to a photograph again. What you didn't hear me say was I put the beans, the corn, the chilies, that kind of thing in here. At the very end, I may thicken this with just a little bit of cornstarch and water. Nobody will know the difference because I want it a little bit thicker, I think. I guess I'll have to look at it and see. Maybe not. The only thing I hadn't added yet is that can of Kroger brand diced tomatoes. So I took them out and I cut them in a little bit. Some of the pieces are bigger than others and I wanted more. So I drained them to get most of the red color off. And if you can your own tomatoes, just plain tomatoes, do you remove the stems? Because I took an awful lot of stems out of this. I haven't canned tomatoes in forever, but I'm pretty sure I didn't leave the stems on. I always consider those to be not easily cleaned, it's certainly not good looking when you're trying to eat it in your dish. I went to a restaurant one time. I use the term restaurant loosely. It was the bowling alley, and they have a nice restaurant attached to it. And my favorite, this is like in the 80s, my favorite was their club sandwiches. So, I was real thin back then. It didn't matter. So I get my sandwich, and I'm eating it, and I get the butt end of a tomato. I mean, he just cut off the stem and threw it on my sandwich. And I said, and I don't do this. I'm real shy about sending things back. I go, this is not right, Anyway, I just don't want stems in my food. Here we go. This is the last of it. It sure didn't give much for the can. It did have a lot of liquid, though, and that's probably what it needs to have. It looks good, and I hope it's not too spicy. but I can't imagine that these guys would pronounce anything too spicy because they eat spicy salsa all the time. So anyway, that's that. I'm going to put a lid on this, kick it down to warm, because really everything's done, and just let it go for an hour and see what I have. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot to put any seasoning at all in it of my own, except for, what came out of the chilies. So I've got ground cumin, some chili powder, some onion powder, and salt and pepper, of course, but I'm going to hold back. I'm going to taste this when it's all done. And if it needs it, then I'll add it, like for sure it needs it. And if I feel like it's iffy or it does not need it, I'm going to put it on the table and tell them, or near the crock pot, and tell them, do with whatever you want with salt and pepper, but I feel like it has enough. I put probably 2 tablespoons of cumin because I love the smell of it and the taste of it in my foods. I put very little of the chili powder because I wasn't sure about the heat, and then maybe a teaspoon of onion powder. There's already half a big onion in here. I'm tasting it to see if it needs more heat or has too much heat or needs salt. It needs salt, believe it or not, probably because I rinsed everything. And it needs more chili powder, which is very surprising to me. So I'll do that.